Hi, people. It's Chrissy again. Sooner than I thought. I thought the preparation for Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon was going to take much longer. But what's come out is the completion of the building of the container. So I've built the what feels like a very feminine container to help us flow into change and flow through change. And I was guided to create its counterpart masculine container. And that will move us into the 4 energy of building or strengthening foundations that are going to work, moving forward, that are going to help us to integrate our inner masculine and feminine and to come from a more holistic expression of our truth, a more balanced footpath forward, if you like. And I was also guided to move to tarot. And in moving to tarot, I can show you live what part of my resistance is. So, I avoid tarot like the plague on YouTube. I use tarot only for myself. If I do readings for people, it tends to be largely oracle, may pull 1 or 2 tarot, but when I do readings for myself, I use tarot. And it's because so part of my resistance is that I'm not experienced enough or that I'm not good enough. Okay, so it's a smallness in me. And I have a weird sticky out bit, which I'm just going to leave. And so, I was guided to pull some tarot cards to invite the masculine in. And what's come out in these tarot cards actually moved me to tears, surprised me. So again, there's a challenging of my expectations in that. Was I expecting all the masculine energy to come in? Probably. What's come in is quite different. And then, so there's a ton of cards. I hope that's okay. So let's just let this video be a card reading, which is going to complete the container to bring the masculine in. And it's looking like these are giving me a stop it. Purpose. Meaning. I'm going for meaning. You can go for purpose. Okay. So inviting the masculine into this container to balance the energies of what I'm going to bring through, which is it might be quite heavy. The first card out. So the deck, one of the lovely tarot decks that I use is Streams of Gaia by Raven Phelan. And it's just a beautiful deck. So I'm being reminded that my resistance to using tarot is because I don't know tarot like the book tells me. So the part of me that seeks perfection isn't happy with not being able to recite the structure of traditional tarot. And so to move through that resistance, I have to be true to me. And do you remember a couple of videos ago, where I said, my sensitivity is my superpower. So why, when I come to tarot, do I switch the mind on? Okay. So if that helps you spot some resistance in you to bringing what's true, then great, use it. So when I read tarot for myself, I don't really bother with the book. I just feel into the energy. And the energy of this first card just beautiful. Let me show. I'm going to turn the glare down first. So we have the Nine of Fire here. What this card gives me is what's his face saying to you? What does that face say to you? That face says to me, okay, I'm willing to listen. I'm listening. So he's holding a rose over his higher heart, which is innocence and purity. That's what we're going back to as the original codings. So when I talk about all my videos being around the resurrection of the child, it's the innocence and the purity that incarnated and then got programmed to death. So rose is a sign of love. It's a sign of commitment. And it's a white rose. So in this card, it's a sign of peace. And listening is, when we listen fully, we do come from a place of peace. When we listen fully and as an adult, then we notice what we're listening to, we notice the material that's coming to us and where that might trigger us. We notice what's going on in our body. And then rather than defend or kick back or project, we can own that, because we're listening to that out there, and we're also listening to the body and where that memory might be stored. So remember, nothing can piss you off unless it pre-exists within you. Nobody has the power to make you anything. Oh, it made me feel. Yeah, okay, it made you feel. Or would it be more appropriate to say, appropriate. Would it be truer to say, my body remembered something when you said that thing? So cheers for that. I hate you. I'm going to take that away and look at, where there's some heavier energy in that story. And so his sacral chakra, the fact that he's standing in a tree, tells me how grounded and committed and determined he is to stay put and listen. Okay, so when I talk about he, I'm not talking about men. I'm talking about the inner masculine within the human body, the inner masculine archetype, the fire energy, the fall energy, the yang energy, the she is the wind and he is the turbine. Okay. Stop it. Okay, my luck just getting cheeky there. So notice his sacral chakra is glowing like the sun. It's giving me the word sacred sexuality. Not the kind of sexuality that human beings have been programmed into. The, very lower egoic expression of power-driven sexuality, point scoring sexuality, the pursuit of virility and prowess through sexuality. That's not what sexuality is about. It's about raw creative power. Hidden dragon. Thank you. That's hidden dragon. Okay. And if the sacral isn't clear and creating in the fire energy, then that's learning, or a barrier, or a block, or resistance, or stick to learning. Yeah, it's just beautiful. Such a beautiful card. Look at his third eye. So listening with all of the senses, standing rooted to the spot, grounded into the earth, in a peaceful state, willing to listen, open. So if that's the first representation of the masculine that wants to come in to hold this container, I'm a bit blown away. So, welcome, the masculine. And 9 also is, there's an element of completion in there, and the story of completion might come out later in the cards, but the complete ready. There's a readiness in him. There's a readiness in him to step up and be there, you know, in a way that doesn't seek anything without the paradigm of expectation and stereotyping. Beautiful. So staying with the theme of building the masculine counterpart, I know, right? The Queen of Earth. I just need to keep my lighting. That's better. Oh, wow. Oh, that's amazing. Wow. Okay. Let's put those two like that. So what this card is giving me is, it's showing me the feminine within the masculine, because if we look at inner masculine and feminine, then we can keep going fractally out. So my inner masculine will have an inner feminine, will have an inner masculine, and it will go all the way up the fractal. Okay. So the sacred masculine has come into his Earth Gaia energy. That's what this tells me. And this here is the kind of, it's the small voice. It feels like it feels quite still, actually. I wanted to launch then into into that kind of trickster, small nonsense, the inner Terminator voice. But as I feel into the energy of this, it feels stilled, like it has been stilled by this divine feminine energy. So it's like she's kind of risen above it, risen above her doubt and insecurity, which is within him. So that's what he's trying to say, is that he's risen above the doubt and insecurity of that voice that thinks it needs to be something, that seeks to please. And and it's card number 13, which is divinely feminine. It is a divinely feminine blueprint. Yeah, and the 1 is the masculine. The 1 is the masculine fire, and the 3 is the feminine, the blueprint. Wow, look at that. It's the beginning, isn't it? So can you see how this is piecing together? So the masculine has come in as actually quite an embodied, holistic masculine who has mastered his insecurity, his doubting voice, or his need to win and whatever, by stepping deeply into his feminine. Yeah, I want to just interrupt myself here and say thank you to a friend of mine called Lisa, who sent me a message this morning saying, no, I think she sent me a couple of days ago, actually. I read it fully today, asking me why, noticing that I don't tend to talk about twinning. I don't talk about twin flames and all of that stuff. And I don't. I generally avoid it like the plague because there's too much room for misconception. But look at what's coming through, Lisa, wise woman. So yeah, we have a very embodied masculine coming through. Woo! Yeah, baby. The Ace of Fire. Into a beginning. Look at all that fire. Mm. So what I'm seeing is around this egg. There is actually a web on that egg. And what I'm seeing is every time the spider speaks, it kind of flicks the web. And the web vibrates out and it meets intersections of other lines of the web, which might be other people. And that might be where we meet our own resistance or meet their resistance in what we're bringing. And that's global, because we haven't learned to celebrate difference truly. We have in pods around the world, but generally in the mass collective, we still don't know how to celebrate difference. We belittle it and we ridicule it or we judge it, so that we don't have to change in our witnessing of it. And we're getting there, we're getting there. So that's better. We've got some beautiful dark heavy clouds here and some much needed rain, so there's I'm stealing light from where I can. So we're into some kind of beginning here. So we have the embodied masculine feminine taking us into the rebirth of fire, and we got Mars retrograde. What's Mercury doing? I can't remember, but I'm getting Mercury with this. Initiation, communication, flicking the web, see what comes back, and not getting hung up on the outcome. This is number 11. Intuition. Wow, wow, and wow. Look how integrated the masculine is. It's just bonkers. So 11 of fire. Wow. There's some high vibing energy here. It's like, feels like kind of it feels like the original blueprint for the masculine and the feminine in an embodied, integrated, oh wow. My crown chakra is on fire. Please excuse the pauses. I'm just reading into this energy. My crown chakra is on fire. it feels like the coming together. It feels like a meeting, a coming together, a meeting, in the beginning of integration with a beautifully high energy. Hmm. Yeah, wow. Heart on fire. Heart on fire. Third eye wide open. Higher cosmic eye. Higher cosmic eye wide open. Wow. God, blimey. It's giving me a headache. That's, if you've got this deck, maybe don't hold the card for too long. Wow, that's it feels like I'm hearing something like the bringing back or the return of harmony. It's, yeah, it's a beautiful energy, beautiful energy. And here we have another 3. Yeah. So this is an air card. Air is mind, learning, studying. Maybe remembering ancient knowledge. Willing to die to the process, because for us to grow, we have to leave behind that which no longer serves us, and that might be a simple narrative, it might be a habit, it might be a hardwired routine that we have to shake ourselves out of. So being willing to kind of sacrifice that which no longer serves, and look at the light coming out of the book, and the book is within, you know that, right? Is going in to sit within. See the key. Do you remember me talking about lockdown is going to ask the question, do we even have the key to our own front door? I think this one does. So in this embodied, integrated masculine, or partly integrated or fully integrated, doesn't matter. Masculine is what's looking like a willingness to step back into his divine truth, his ancient knowledge, rather than what he's learned through the programming that he's been born into, and willing to sacrifice some old behaviors that no longer serve. And so these cards came out as one clump, a whole clump. I checked every single card and they all want to be in the reading, but they came out. Look at that glowing. Snakes are a symbol of healing, wisdom. And it's wrapped around the cosmic egg, which feels like the collective. Oh, wow. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this on this camera. There. Look at what's in the egg. Resurrection of the child. Wow, it's made me emotional. So my higher heart chakra has just exploded. Wow. We are so ready to hatch. We are so ready. We little hatchlings, or the little hatchlings within us, are so ready to find a new expression. You know, I think I did a video, I can't remember now, but about purposelessness and meaningless fun. And even a couple of videos ago, I was talking about we've consigned fun into the bit that goes, you can have your pudding when you've eaten your veg. It's that, like, fun has to be earned, like we squeeze all our fun into a weekend. What's that about? Why doesn't fun bleed through every day? You know, the joy and innocence and purity of a child are what are being reborn now in a really safe, protected space. That is such a stunning card. 13 again, this feminine power coming through the masculine. Wow. The collective masculine has traveled a long way. If he's acknowledging and allowing this much raw feminine power to come through him, I'm blown away. I'm blown away. So we have a container. These cards will form the container for the work that is to come, which looks like it's taking shape in where this journey, where this cosmic egg is taking me. Okay. I'm going to stand that up there because that's the segue. So death and rebirth of the innocent child is about remembrance. And I've been talking an awful lot recently about original codings, which actually started with, I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that picture there? I painted about, I don't know, well, 6 months, 5 months ago. And it took me into a 6-hour process of what was like, it felt like original wounding in the collective, the original wounding. And I went into a 6-hour healing process to clear the energy that I channeled through that painting. And that theme has been cooking ever since. So the remembrance, okay, so they're taking me back to, look at the number. 3811. What were you taking me back to then? Okay, all right, that makes sense. So if I pop these two together, I wonder what you get from that. I'm feeling very careful not to talk too much into this card because I don't want to interrupt your process if you're traveling through these cards with me. Except to read the words on the cards and let you play with the concept of the masculine and the feminine, remembering. The frequency of remembrance supports our memory of everything that we have gone through as a soul in a body, providing us with valuable information and tools to flow gracefully with and in this life. Flow. I could do the same again, couldn't I? So those two triangles represent the masculine and the feminine. I believe the upward pointing triangle is the masculine and the downward pointing triangle is the feminine, but that doesn't actually even feel true as I talk into it. I don't think it matters anymore. I think it's two blueprints that have been brought together and fused in the middle to create the integrated masculine and feminine energy. So the frequency of Tantric Journey helps us to unlock the hidden knowledge and wisdom that we intrinsically hold about how to reach a state of wholeness and completion through our sensual experiences. Sensual experiences, sacral chakra. With ourselves and with another. Let me read that again. The frequency of Tantric Journey helps us to unlock the hidden knowledge and wisdom that we intrinsically hold about how to reach a state of wholeness and completion through our sensual experiences with ourselves and with another. Okay. So when that child is reborn, when that child or the energy of that child gets reborn in the world, with it is going to come vulnerability. Okay, so sensual experience with self and another depends upon the level of vulnerability that we can step into in the pure expression of the inner child. Okay. So this is kind of, and this is speaking into the essence of what an intimate relationship is and how it's been distorted. The energy of what we perceive to be an intimate relationship might be different to what we expect. And again, is directly relevant to how intimate a relationship with self is. Because it goes by the essence. I can only know you as deeply as I know myself. Okay. So we have a remembrance, Tantric Journey. You see where this is going? Earth. We've got that same image, look. The embodiment of the masculine and feminine fused together. So coming back as one. The frequency of Earth activates our deep connection to this physical plane by showing us the beauty of all the aspects of our Great Mother and revealing the more ethereal, spiritual aspects of our nature. I am not just this container. It feels like it's remembrance. It feels like a remembrance and a calling in of all the non-physical aspects of you that make up the complete hologram that is you, expressing through a 3D physical world. And where that will take us, wow, this is making so much sense. So as below, so above, as within, so without. This is the Hermetic principle of correspondence. Oh, there's that 44 again. Oh, wow. I'm being spoiled today. I'm absolutely being spoiled. Universal love. Because it doesn't stop here. It doesn't stop in the street or the village or the town or the city or the planet or the solar system. Everything you do ripples out. Every life you touch ripples out and in. The frequency of universal love activates the connection we feel to each other, to our planet, and to the whole of existence itself. Think limitless, think infinite. So, wow and wow, wow, wow. Yeah. So we have, you know, the container of creating, moving into divine patience by sitting in sanctuary. Okay, sacred practice to become aware of your path, where you're going, where you've been, and what tools you can use, who you can call in for help, using the inner guidance system. Okay. To be supported by the feminine that wants you to be uniquely yourself, your infinite self, and to follow your truth. Or you could read that as follow my truth, literally being spoken by the divine feminine. Follow my truth. To then be greeted by the masculine, who's ready to listen. He's done his work. He's in his higher heart, willing to listen, standing firmly rooted and committed. Having risen above his demons to step more fully into his feminine. And channel like a Jedi through the embodied masculine and feminine fire to move into the birth of a new flame, to move into the birth of a new flame with this remembrance of divine knowledge and holding that cosmic egg ready for the rebirth into tantric love, universal and earth balance. This is the whole lot. Remembrance of the tantric journey, connecting with the etheric earth, moving into universal love. Oh, lordy, lordy. So, thank you for being here. Thank you for likes and shares and subscribes and comments. I'd love your comments on this. This container seems to have taken us into big picture thinking today, which is okay. And what I'll start to do as we move forward in this collection of videos is to start drilling down into, I think, the first field of agitation that we're going to meet, which is very in the here. So everything we do here in the physical self, in this 3D plane, will feed the whole system. Everything we do in love will feed the whole system, and everything we do in not love will feed the whole system. Okay, that's me done. Might be me done for the day, I don't know. Let's see what my inner guidance system has in store for me. I'm leaving you with love as ever, and if you have any questions, feel free to ping me My contact details are below. And I'll see you again soon. Happy Sunday. Bye-bye.